Alright, welcome back to the channel, Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's official prices. Make sure to like and subscribe for daily content, reactions, reviews, and news, painting, modeling, conversion tutorials for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, Horus Heresy, and some warcry content as well. Alright, so we have our official prices. I wasn't really sure how this was going to play out. Obviously, there's been a little bit of controversy over the new Shadowvault set. Came out much quicker than expected, considering that the season was supposed to last essentially for a year. It was supposed to be a starter box and then 3 expansion boxes to take place on the Space Vault. So we expected them about once every 3 months. Very similar to what we did last season of Kill Team with Octarius and then the expansions that followed. And then similar to what they're doing now for Warcry as well. So I'm not necessarily opposed to the seasons as long as they are executed in a good way. Now, the argument is that they're not being executed in a good way. Now, there's a lot of good reasons why this Shadowvaults feels rushed out. I think a lot of it has to do with like the boarding actions for 40k. Giving GW the benefit of the doubt, I would say that they rushed this out so that a lot of Kill Team players don't come out, purchase the boarding action set, and then Shadowvaults come out, and now they're not sure if they want to purchase Shadowvaults because they already have 2 sets of terrain, etc. So giving Games Workshop the benefit of the doubt that they have rushed this out for our sake, we'll go from there. So now there are some lackluster things about the box set. 90% of the terrain is exactly the same. The Necron Kill Team is a bunch of old models with a little expansion sprue. And then obviously, some other minor arguments as well. But the fact of the matter is, we were a little unsure about what the pricing was going to be, and obviously the way Games Workshop has been going lately, just expected it was going to be at that more expensive price point. But here we have the Kill Team Shadowvault set, $185 USD or $220 Canadian. So $185 for the set is probably right where it should be, honestly. Considering Games Workshop prices, not comparing it to any other brands or games or anything like that. But if the starter set is $210, and comes with, basically the rule book that doesn't come in this set, the dice, the cards, the tokens, the combat gauges, and little barricades. This set should be cheaper. So if this is $185, the other one was $210. It was basically $25 for all that bonus stuff. Considering the rule book is like $50, obviously really good deal for the starter sets. You would always expect the starter sets to be slightly better. So I don't think this is bad. I'm glad to see that they have brought it back down under 200. Again, they started to get a little crazy with the prices, and obviously they have backed down a little bit. Part of that is because their pricing power has severely diminished. And what I mean is, when they can see now clearly, when they raise the prices on these sets and sell them, they don't do as well. We see non-stop discounted boxes, big boxes, new boxes, old boxes, all kinds of stuff from Games Workshop. So $185 for this. I think Games Workshop has woken up and realizes that they can't just keep nonstop raising the prices. So I will definitely be picking this up. Excited to see this and looking forward to playing it for sure. And obviously we know what comes in the set. We did the breakdown and everything. So next we have the Kill Team dice sets. So obviously I'm not a big fan of this color combo, let alone Games Workshop's prices on their dices. The prices on the dices. But the Hierotek Circle dice set, aka the Necrons, are $38 USD, $48 Canadian, and then the Kasrkins dice are $38 USD or $48 Canadian. So, basically $40 for 20 dice, $2 a piece. These are the sharp edges. They're good quality, made by Games Workshop. The 6 pip is the symbol for that faction. I'm obviously not going to be picking these up, but I can understand how somebody might want to. And then we have the Kill Team playing cards. Not sure they actually made the list. Yeah, I don't see them on here. Yeah, no prices for the Kill Team playing cards, unfortunately. So for whatever reason, a couple of these items did not make the price list, including the Titanicus stuff. So I am not sure the price on that. I would assume the book's going to be somewhere around 50 or 60. I'm really not sure for like the upgrade stuff. And then again, we have a bunch more of the Lord of the Rings characters and stuff like that. Rehashes, the ability to get them again, etc. So you can check those out. but definitely lacking on the prices for all of this stuff here. So on to the Citadel tools. Next, we have the superfine detail cutters. So the superfine detail cutters are $50 USD or $60 Canadian. Absolutely crazy, in my opinion. These are, I'm sure, some nice cutters, but there is no reason for these to be 50 bucks. You can get a really nice, cheap set of cutters for around like $10 to $12. Just buy something that's not intended necessarily for hobby. It will be exactly the same, probably better quality, last longer, and like a fifth of the price. Next, we have the mold line remover. The mold line remover is $25 USD or 30 Canadian. These are actually kind of nice. The little mold line removers that they give you in the start painting sets are pretty decent. You can use your razor blade for this, honestly. The nice thing about this is it's basically one of those free mold line removers, but put into a handle, so it's a little more ergonomic. There's no way I would ever pay $25 for this. And then next we have our knife. So the knife is $34 USD or 38 Canadian. This is a neat little idea, putting the little tightening bit down here at the bottom so it doesn't come unscrewed as you're using the tool. I'm sure everybody has dealt with that at least at some point in time. You know, minor issue where the blade kind of comes loose and then it's a little janky. Then you got to retighten it. Maybe there's a little slip, etc. So I do like the idea of trying to improve something for safety or for efficiency reasons. I'm just not really sure how this does work exactly. I'm not sure how well it would work or, you know, how great the overall razor blade is. But the truth is, you know, this is insane. Obviously, we expect hobby tools to cost a lot more than a non-hobby equivalent, which could be almost the same or exactly the same. 34 bucks for a knife is pretty freaking expensive. So that's a big pass for me. Next, we have the drill. So I already have Citadel's drill. It is squeaky. Random parts of it come unscrewed as you're using it. It has like a reversible tip to fit the two different side blades. And sometimes even when you're using the correct tip, it won't grip the, I'm sorry, I said blades, but I meant bits. It won't grip the drill bit correctly, and you'll get like little bits of slippage. Overall, it's good. It's small, precise. I like it, but there is a ways for improvement. So the question is, did they fix all the issues with the old drill in this new drill? Because it is $35 USD or 40 Canadian. One of the main issues was obviously this little piece unscrewing, so I think moving it down here is probably better. The other issue is there's like other components that can unscrew as well, like the back piece always screws off of it. And then again, there's issues with the actual like bits slipping even when you're using the correct little like sheath that goes around it, because like the front tip is reversible. So overall, it looks like they fixed some of the problems. I'm not sure. It says the drill comes with two 1.0 millimeter bits and two 1.5 millimeter bits. So you get 4 total bits, 2 of each. The old drill came with like 10 bits or something like that. So less for more, basically. Never a good sign. And then we have White Dwarf 481, 11 bucks for this bad boy. It's got some 40K. It's got some Sigmar. It's got some cool art on the cover. And then obviously some WoW stuff going on here. New Necron Army of Renown, Roaming Dead Rules and Battle Plans, The Fate of Barbarous Decided, and Warhammer Horror Short Story. So yeah, maybe something in there for you. And then obviously our War of the Fang, Black Library. You know, and again, I don't know how they pick what comes on the price list, but this is not on here. I'm assuming this is going to be right around like that $60 price range or something like that. And we know because there's 1,500 copies of them, they are signed. We know this is going to sell out relatively quickly. So if you do want this, if you are into this, I would make sure to secure your copy. And then next we have a couple more books. For some reason, these are on here, even though that last one wasn't. We have the hardback novel Void King for $27 or 32 Canadian. We have Briar Dark, and that is a paperback novel, and that is 16 USD or 17 Canadian. And then we have the Twice Dead King, Rain. And once again, this one is a paperback novel, 16 USD or 17 Canadian. And then finally, we have the Don't see it on here, but probably being re-released is Kasrkins. And that is a hardback novel, and that is $27 or 32 Canadian. So that is our official prices for this week. Obviously, the big releases, the most desirable releases, I would say, are probably the limited edition Space Wolf novel, War of the Fang. Again, that's going to sell out quickly, so make sure you do get a hold of that if you're interested. Like always, White Dwarf will have some cool stuff. Nice to see them redoing the tools. It looks like they have made some positive changes, sort of tried to address some problems. Unfortunately, the prices are absolutely ridiculous, so no one will ever actually know if they solve these problems or not, because probably I'm the only person crazy enough to ever have bought any of the Games Workshop tools. So I doubt exactly people are going to be like swarming out to pick these up. But if we scroll back through all of these just absolutely horrible Lord of the Rings models, here's part of the reason, and not to go on a tangent here, but I mean, this looks terrible, and this is Games Workshop displaying it, which means this is like one of the best versions of this model probably ever painted. This is like your box art model, and just look at this. I mean, it's just absolutely atrocious. Now, I'm not saying it was painted poorly. It probably has to do with the model quality, and size, but also it was painted poorly. But, you know, what does that tell you about the game? Not appealing to me when every single model kind of looks a little bit blah. Looks like a meme on the internet. So, lots of stuff here for Titanicus. I was surprised. You know, I guess I shouldn't say I was surprised, but a few people chimed in and said that they played Titanicus or exclusively play Titanicus, or that's their main game. It was definitely surprising for me. But cool to hear that people are into all of the various different games, and there's people playing them around the world somewhere. So Shadowvaults obviously is the big winner this week, the big release. It is quick. I was a little bummed out at first, you know, obviously a little fired up. I'll let you guys know how it is. Definitely happy to see this coming out. Excited to see Necrons and Kasrkins. It does suck that they went back to just the upgrade frame and recycled models for the Necrons. But honestly, the team looks good. The models look good. So I'm not actually against it. It's, you know, it seems a little lazy always, but the fact of the matter is you would never know that this is a recycled kill team if somebody didn't tell you. So overall, I think this is an awesome set. Again, sucks they recycled so much terrain and the game board and all that stuff. And it looks like there's only actually one of like the accessory sprues, which is definitely a bummer as well. It looks like you get basically like the cutter bomb mover, the heavy bolter turret, and then all the other little like insert bits on a single sprue. So it looks like this is going to have one less terrain sprue than the starter set did. So the starter set had six terrain sprues, two each of those, and they're identical in this set. And then the other set, the Into the Dark set, had two upgrade sprues that were identical to each other. It looks like this one is only going to come with one upgrade sprue, and that upgrade sprue is going to make all the little unique pieces for this set. So basically this is a duplicate of the old set with two less upgrade sprues and then one new one. I will definitely be picking it up. Definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be going in my pile of shame for a little while, obviously, but eventually I will get to it. I'll play the teams, I'll paint the models, and it's definitely exciting. So let me know what you think. Are you excited now that, you know, basically like some of the shock has kind of set in? I know a lot of people are excited for it. I think it's cool that they're doing some kind of like boarding actions and everything and letting 40k players play in the Space Hulk. I'm sure that will be fun. The timing was a little poor, but sometimes for even a big company like this with everything going on, it's hard to get everything to line up perfectly. They may have had some kind of delays or issues with any of these sets that have caused this kind of like weird schedule. But the fact of the matter is, it's a cool set. Priced at $185, which is reasonable for Games Workshop. And I will definitely be picking it up. So, but that's it for today's official prices. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're into daily reactions, reviews, and news, or painting, modeling, conversion tutorials, magnetization. Make sure to check out the playlist. And then, of course, we do everything from Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, Warcry, Horus Heresy, and pretty much anything else to do with GW tabletop wargaming. Well, that's it for today, Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.